Hey everyone, welcome. Thanks for joining us. My name is Ali Davida, and together with Mari Inoue, we provide health and fitness and inspiration for riders and equestrian athletes of all disciplines. We're so excited that today we are joined by FEI sponsoring this video. So if you came to us from their article published on yoga for the barn, make sure to subscribe to our channel. We are so excited to have you here. Welcome. We're going to get right into it. So the inspiration behind today's video is being out at the barn. So often as it is here, it just rained. You don't really want to lay down on the floor, although it's still great to incorporate a lot of the yoga movements into your warm-up or your recovery as a rider. So all of these positions and yoga postures you can do standing up. The first thing that we're going to do is our modified Vinyasa flow. And this one feels so good. One of my clients' favorite positions. So if you have a wall, this is the perfect sort of height for me, this bar, but you can also just come up against your barn wall or even use a bench. Just go ahead and step your feet far enough away so that you can start to lean and open, pulling open and back through your sits bones. And this is your modified downward facing dog. And a lot of my clients find that they're able, perhaps if they have some tension or tightness in their hamstrings, they can still come into this posture and get a really nice opening there, as well as through the chest. Downward facing dog really works on the entire body. It's one of our base poses that we come back to. So it's great to really be able to access this before or after you ride. And then from here, you're just going to come up into a plank pose, and feel free to adjust this position. You know, we're going from our push-up position, so if you do want to get down on the ground, you're just coming into a plank pose, and you can either transfer from that plank pose back to where we started, or you can take downward facing dog on the ground. So we're going to flow through that 3 times in a row, really using our breath, whether you're on the floor, getting muddy perhaps, or if you're using your modification here at the wall. So starting off in your downward facing dog, go ahead and take an exhale. You really want to allow an opening in your chest and shoulders while still keeping an engagement, lifting your belly button to your spine, and particularly pressing into the space around your thumb and index finger. So essentially activating into that area while simultaneously rolling your shoulders down. So almost like you're pressing into the L shape of your thumb and index finger, imagining that you're also wrapping and maybe even picturing you're opening 2 jars with your hand. So really just hugging the muscles around the entire length of the arm and lengthening back through your sits bones. Finish on another exhale here. And then inhale, lifting the belly button towards the spine, coming into your plank pose. And you can make yours as much work or as little work as you are ready for today. So the more upright is going to be a little bit less weight used by your core. And then if you're, of course, on a lower platform or the floor itself, you're working into the arms a little bit more. And then finding your flow, we're going to go exhale, leaning back with the seat bones. And inhale, you lift up onto the toes, feel the core strong. So with your breath, exhale, coming back into that stretch, and it might feel good to bend the knees and go side to side. Inhale, coming up, modified plank. Last time, into your downward facing dog, and inhale, coming into your plank pose. Beautiful. You can go ahead and stretch out. That's a great one to do. You can just takes 10 seconds to do that before you ride or after you ride. So good to connect with your breath, as well as to open up through the back of the legs and the arms. From here, we're going to take ourselves into a little standing flow. So stepping back into your warrior 2 pose. Nice and simple to find this one too, standing. Make sure that knees tracking over your front toes. A lot of people let it sort of knock in. And just find your breath here. Nothing too complicated. Imagine that you're engaging, activating your feet towards each other. So if you're on a mat, it's almost like you're trying to scrunch up that mat, active in the inner thighs. And 2 more breaths. Gaze is both fierce and soft over that front hand. And maybe you're aiming towards a 90-degree bend in this front leg, wrapping that back hip under. So no booties sticking out here. Inhale, just lifting up into our reverse warrior, dancing warrior. And breathing into the side here. So really picturing like there's a balloon there at your right side and you're inflating it with every breath. Coming on down into our side angle, you can come onto the elbow here and you can take this left arm reaching straight up overhead or open it up towards the sky, whatever feels more comfortable for you. Work it into that hip. You might feel it a little bit more here. One more breath. Good. Beautiful. From here, you're going to come up, straighten the legs. You might need to step that back foot in slightly, preparing for triangle. Arms are horizontal to the floor. Arms are horizontal, parallel to the floor. Reach it forward as far as you can go. Nice strong core. Tipping it down into your triangle pose. And here, you're really looking to lengthen your spine from your pelvis. And you don't need to have this left hip entirely open, but also try not to have it closing. So finding that middle ground that feels okay on your hips. Into your triangle, same thing. You can reach that arm straight up, or maybe just place it on the hip here. All right, and this next one's a little bit of a playful challenge. Into our half moon. You can go straight from your triangle, launching off onto a single standing leg, or come back over to the wall. And I'll show you here. We'll get 2 views of this. You're going to lean against that wall with your upper back and your top arm. And that's going to allow you, even if you don't have a prop for that bottom hand, to find that balance, really stacking on top of the right leg. From here, we'll go ahead and shake it out. And step straight into the second side. Warrior 2. I'm on my left side now, whichever side you didn't do yet. Settling on in and really focusing on the breath. Now, if you just do anything, maybe you do 1 pose before you ride. If you take 3 breaths, your horse will feel it. We do a few other videos of mindfulness and yoga, as well as our workouts, but some of my favorites are the breath work and the connection that can really help you achieve with your horse. Reaching up, our equestrian, athletic partners, really, our teammates, they're very highly tuned in. Sometimes we think a little too highly tuned in, perhaps. But, they have that beautiful connection to their breath. Coming on into our side angle here. So we can take a moment before we ride or after we ride, even at home, to connect with that within ourselves. It's going to really nourish the relationship we have with our horse and with ourselves. And you might just be that far ahead of the game in terms of achieving your goals together. All right, this one's kind of fun. Launching up, you can go straight on into that half moon. So the aim here is many things. Here we're working on this balance on that left leg, and it's quite tricky to find that. Often you'll see in a class we teach that with a block or something underneath the left hand. And as I show you today, you can also just lean your shoulders up against a wall, also trying to get that top heel against the wall, really helping you find that stack in a new way. I love this one for riders because it helps to stabilize the inner and outer part of the thigh, of the leg, which is sometimes out of balance in equestrians. All right, we're going to finish where we started with just 3 breaths in our flow. So coming back into plank pose. Inhale, really feeling that breath. Exhale, downward facing dog. Maybe kind of wiggling around into it, feeling a little bit warm now. Inhale into plank. Exhale, lengthening all along the side. Breathing into plank. And exhale, downward facing dog. From here, you can go ahead and just release. Give yourself a little shake. And we will finish together by reaching the arms up overhead, palms touch. Bring them to heart center. Thanking yourself for showing up, perhaps trying something new. We would love to see more of you. Come back, check out all of our offerings. And in the meantime, be kind and gentle with yourself. Thank you all so much. Namaste.